So last week we started with our triangle poses and we had a little bit of an investigation into them. And what was it now? It was Saturday. So on Saturday, I've had a really big weekend. I was performing fairy, fire dancing, stilt walking thing that I do at the weekends. And on Saturday afternoon, I thought, right, I need to go and practice with, all the sticks that I twirl and everything. And I took myself off to the woods and it was a bit foggy and I love it when it's like that. And I got there and I twizzled my sticks and everything. And then I found myself doing the yoga class that I taught to you guys. And I was playing around with my foot positions and I thought, hang on a minute, you've been telling them not quite an accurate foot position for your triangle. So this morning, we're going to do it with a slightly different position for your foot and see if it makes a difference. So we're going to work with that. And then we're going to work with the warrior poses, which is what I kind of flowed into when I was in the woods. I felt a bit fragmented, that's the way to put it recently. And I felt like I was a bit scattered. And warrior poses, triangle poses, anything that grounds you to the earth helps you to reconnect with that power and strength. And that's where I was. And I love to share what's worked for me with my students. So we're going to work with the warrior poses. And then the warrior pose lends itself beautifully into a great big Bhima stretch. So it's all about the sides of the body. It's about uplifting, energizing ourselves and just enjoying the gift of abundant movement. So I'm going to invite you to come to stand in the center of your mat. Kind of straight. And give both hands a shake. Loosen up your fingers. And just feeling that wonderful energy starting to move in your body. Just releasing any tension from the week. So just letting that awareness now travel into the base of the fingers and into the palms of your hands. Lovely, feel it flow into your wrists, your elbows, and then give your knees a bend. Let that vibration travel up into your shoulders and just feel as though it's shaking away any tension that's built up during the week. Let your hands start to lift up through the midline of the body and we'll give them a really good shake overhead. And then just pause. And as you pause, breathe in and stretch up and really feel your spine lengthening. Create space. Lovely. Take another breath in. And as you breathe out, just let both of those arms descend down, creating that circle in front. We've created a bit of space. Give your shoulders a bit of a shrug. Separate your feet and start to shake around in a few circles. Just loosen up into that space. Feeling the knees bend as you lower the base closer to the earth. And we'll just go around one more time and have a pause with the arms up in the air. Just stretch up. And then release your shoulders, let your arms come down. And then I'm going to invite you to just pause for a moment because Joy's just appeared, so I'm going to let her in. That's nice. And then we're going to begin to do some more shaking, but I just lost Charlotte for a second. We'll have a little pause. So we're going to shake back in the opposite direction. So whichever way you didn't go that way. Because you're both going different ways. It looks really cool on the screen. It looks like a dance. Good morning, Joy. We're just having a shake out, loosening up. We've only just started. Lovely. Really focus on bending your knees as you come down. And then we'll just go around, make this one your last circle, and then just pause in your forward bend. Feel that stretch through the backs of your legs. Allow your head and your neck and your shoulders to relax. And then begin to just step your feet closer together. And bend your knees, let your abdomen rest onto your thighs for a second. And then start to lift back up. And take your hands all the way through the midline and take a beautiful stretch. And see if you can stretch a bit higher than we did before. Let your arms relax your shoulders and let your arms come down either side of your body. Feel the ground underneath your feet, solid earth. And then we're going to begin to work with the hips. So just start turning from left to right. Your knees nice and soft to begin with. And your arms are just loose this morning. I'm going to take our time waking up the spine. Hydrate the discs within your back. Mobilize the shoulders. So we'll start to let the arms lift up a little bit now. So hands just tapping it in around kidney area. And then we'll take them a little bit higher so they come to elbow height. Just notice what's happening in your back. And then coming up to the level of your shoulders. Just giving the opposite shoulder a little tap. It's amazing the detail we can put into a simple movement, isn't it? And you take your time to move in a mindful way. Then we're going to take the hands up into the space above. Enjoy the sensation of the air, your hands passing. And then let your arms come down. And let your heels lift. You're going to let the arms lift again. We're going to add a little bit of a dynamic flavor into your twist. So as you twist, like the sternum lift. Get some space. And then let the arms come back up again. We're coming to shoulder height. And then going up into that space above. And then let the arms come back down to shoulder height. And then we start to invite a stretch into it. So it's like a stretch and reach or a stretch and push. So we come, first of all, we're just at the level of the shoulders. And we're going to come down through the body. So come down towards the ground. And as you come down towards the ground, you might want to lift the other arm up. And as it's Friday morning, we're going to be really thorough. So we're going to go all the way back up again. I'm smiling because when I first did Friday mornings, I added an extra 15 minutes so you could relax. But it's always movement that we do, isn't it? You do an extra 15 minutes of movement. So we're going to come all the way back up to the the diagonal stretch. And just reaching up. I'm going to come down through the midline now. So the movement changes into a pulling movement. And this is amazing for your spine, for the discs, the vertebra within your back. Really gets the shifts, it shifts tension. And then, in fact, we'll go all the way down to the ground. And once you get down here, just pause though. Let your head, neck and shoulders relax. Feel the crown of the head as it hovers above the ground. Just take a few breaths to reconnect with that breathing rhythm. And then let your knees bend, let your abdomen rest onto your thighs and rise back up. Come back up to your standing position. We're going to go down to the legs now. Just take your weight into your left leg. You can pop your hands onto your hips for balance and circle the toes on your right foot. Use your core muscles to support you. Just do a few circles one way. And change direction. And then from your circling, let your foot have a shake. Really concentrate, first of all, on the sole of the foot. Bit that connects to the earth. Strong feet supporting you and helping you to balance. And then your toes, your ankle. And then taking that movement, allowing the awareness to rise into your calf muscle. And into your knee and your thigh. And then bring the leg to the front. And then just take it across the body. And then bring the leg back and pop it down on the floor. And then taking that weight over into that right leg, lifting your left foot, circling your toes. Do a few circles that way, change direction. And then let your foot shake. Loosen up your toes and the sole of your foot, your ankle, your heel. And now to rise again into that calf muscle. So we're just getting the body's energy moving, releasing latent energy from the muscles and joints. Bones. Take it now into your knee and then your thigh, and your hip. So the whole of the leg should feel nice and loose now. Bring the leg to the front. Oops. And it goes across the body. Bring your foot back, pop it on the ground, and have a little dance and a move. We're back into the body. So we twisted the spine. Right, here we go. So this next movement, you either love it or you hate it, I think. It's one of those ones. And the best thing to do is to just take your time with it. We're going to work with the cross-patterning movement. So as well as being a workout for the body, they also give the brain a workout as well. And all we're going to do is start lifting the knees up to the hands and keeping your knees tapped. And you can go as fast or as slow as you wish. Obviously, if you go fast, you'll get tired. Just lifting up to begin. Let's get your heart rate going and activate your glutes and your core. what happens on a brain level, neurological level, I'm not sure if that's the right word, is it really it harmonizes the left and the right hemispheres of the brain, so it helps to improve your concentration and focus. So we've got that one going now. Let's change it so your knees coming towards your elbow. And if you can take the leg across the body, it works the brain even more, and it works out the vagus nerve. I'm very mindful of my elbows because I've got quite sharp elbows. I'm a bit scared of them. Okay, that's enough of that one. Let's change it to a kick behind. So the left foot is going to the right hand. And we'll do it nice and soft to begin with. And then we bring in an extra stretch. Get a lovely curve on the side of the body. And then we change it to it's an in front. And then here's where it becomes a brain workout. I think it does. It's a memory game. So we do two in front. And we do two behind. Elbow to knee. Hand to knee. And then relax. So it was all right, wasn't it? Give your shoulders a shrug. The heart going, we've got the body's energy moving. We're going to start rotating the shoulders backwards. And we just create little circles with the shoulders. And you let your hips be included. And we're just allowing any tension to be released. And then let your elbows lift up as well. As we're going to work with lots of sideways stretches, it's so important to stretch out the intercostal muscles, the muscles that are in between the ribs. So this is a particularly good body prep today. So we're lifting the elbows up and back. And then from the up and back, you swing the arm through. And then we're going to go back to the elbows. Into the shoulders. And then from your shoulders, come to your hips. And just start to let the hips make a nice figure of 8. And as you're moving your hips, let the focus go all the way down to your feet. And feel the ground as the soles of the feet roll. And then after a few in one direction, let your direction change. And the hips can hold tension. And it's said that the hips and pelvic region is the house of our emotional center. So when we work with the hips, we can help to release things that have been stored up. And quite often when we let go of things, we don't even know they're there to begin with. We just know that we feel better. Let your arms come into it now and enjoy a beautiful figure of 8 flow. And I'm going to invite you to just go wherever you wish with this morning. Really enjoy the space you're in. Close your eyes if you want to. Just use it to stretch out any part of your body that we might not have already activated. And then making your way back to your standing position. I know we've had a good activation when my mat's all over. Come back to standing. Let's take a moment or two to really tune into your strong legs. Let your feet be hip distance. Allow your sternum to lift. Core muscles on, and let your shoulders just lift up towards your ears and take the shoulders back. Leave that spaciousness into your chest. Drawing back your chin to lengthen your neck. And just engaging those core muscles. Just going to stretch the spine a little bit. Let the backs of the hands come close in front of the body. And as you breathe in, just stretching up. Breathe out, flow forwards, come down into your forward bend. Allow your knees to bend and your core muscles to engage. And then rising back up. Using the breath to lift you. And breathe out, flow back down. Bending the knees once more, rising up. And then final time, flowing down. And this time just pausing your forward bend. Bending your knees, let your abdomen rest onto your thighs. And then slowly lift back up. Just taking your time. And just arrive back into your standing position, coming into mountain pose. Just realigning the feet, hips, pelvis, sternum, lips. Let your right palm come out in front of the navel and just let your left palm go overhead so both palms are facing one another. You're going to breathe in and lengthen the spine. And as you breathe out, come over into your sideways stretch. Feel your right shoulder relax and just easing into that sideways stretch through the left side. The engaged core, breathe in and let your body lift up. Circle your arms around. Breathe in to rise and breathe out into that sideways stretch. Your core muscles engage, you rise back up. Circle. Breathe in as you create some space and length, and breathe out. Just relaxing into it. Check your breathing steady. And you may find that your out breath lets you go into it a bit more. And then lift up. Circle around. Breathe in to lift and rise, and then breathe out. And then lift once more. Let your palms come out in front of the face. It's going to take a stretch into the back, into latissimus dorsi. So feel as though the middle fingers are being lifted. Keep your elbows in line with your shoulders and just let those arms come up. And then let the arms come back down. And then this time as we rise up, we're going to bring the breath into it. So refresh your core, breathe in, let the arms lift up, breathe in, and then come onto the balls of the feet as well. Bring your heels down, and then let your arms come down. And then we just open up both of the arms, big and wide. And then we're going to squeeze everything in. Squeeze your core muscles, bring the backs of the hands in, sink into the knees, breathe in. And as you breathe out, you're going to expand and release and let go. Lovely, we'll do that 2 more times. So really feel as though you're releasing tension. Breathing in and breathe out. And then just 1 more. And let go. And let those arms come down by your sides. Step both feet out, so your feet are facing forwards. Excuse me. It's always falling down. So you want both feet facing forwards. First thing to do is just to move between each side. So just get your knees in that zone of bending and sinking. And then come back to the middle. Put your core muscles on, lengthen your spine. And then what we're going to do is sink down into that right side and stretch the muscle on the inside of the left thigh. So you're stretching the adductor muscle. And if you can't feel much, you might need to widen your stance. The weight's just over the right foot. The knee, and you're supporting your stretch. And then pop your core muscles on, use your breath, lift up through the middle and sink into the other side. If it feels a bit tight, go back to where you felt okay. Don't overstretch. You're going to lift up, sink back into the right side. And then use core, lift up, back into the other side, final stretch. And then come back through to the middle. And your toes out. Check that you can sink. I always feel like I'm about to teach ballet. But we're not. What we're going to do is work with the goddess pose. So the first thing to do is to bring the hands up through the midline, like we do with Breath of Arjuna. So you breathe in, you lift all the way up. And then as you breathe out, you just bend the knees a tiny bit and hold. Let your arms come down. Core muscles are on, crossing the arms over. You breathe in, your legs straighten, you lift up. Breathe out, sink a bit further. Core muscles on, you're holding steady. Cross the arms over, lift up. Breathe out, sink down. And each time you come down, you might sink a bit more. Breathe in, lift. And coming down. And go back up, breathe in, feel that strength in your legs. And then this time as you come down, place your hands onto your thighs, tuck tailbone under and lift the sternum. So you're in this strong goddess style pose. Shape. Standing for a moment, feeling the strength in the lower part of the body. Openness and space in the upper part of the body. I'm going to release your hands, let both arms go up overhead and give them a clap. And then straighten the legs, draw the hands down towards your heart. Now breathe in. And as you breathe out, straighten the arms, sinking down. You might come down a bit further. Lovely. Separate the hands now and circle the arms. We're going to lift up. And then as you come down, open out into the chalice cup. And you're open. Straighten the legs, cross the arms over, lift up, give the arms a clap. Heel toe your feet back in. And bring your hands down in front of your heart. Release your hands, let your hands come down either side of your body. And you might just want to close your eyes and stand. Just rest in that peaceful strength you've created. And then just inviting you down onto your mats. We're going to come into Energise cat pose. So in fact, when you come down, if you just want to come into pose of a child for a second, it's quite dynamic, that one, isn't it? So just come down and have a little resting pose of a child. Pop your head in and just spend a few moments just breathing down there. And then rising up from your resting pose, bring your palms down onto the mat and come onto your hands and knees. And we're going to use this cat pose, firstly as a way to connect to the earth, but also just to get your back feeling really nice. So your shoulders will be above your hands and your hips above your knees. And first of all, just let your tummy hang loose. Breathe out. Then refresh your core muscles. So you lift pelvic floor, abdominals, glutes, arch your back up towards the ceiling and bring your chin in towards your chest. And just hold that for a moment or two. And then begin to breathe in. And as you breathe in, tilt your pelvis forwards and down and feel that ripple move through your spine, let your head come up. Openness through the throat and chest. And then when you're ready to breathe out, you arch your back, moving through each vertebra. And just inviting you now to get into your own flow. But when you breathe in, the back creates that C shape and you look up. And when you breathe out, move through each vertebra one at a time. And your chin comes in towards your chest. And just feeling that beautiful flow through your spine. Feeling earthed, grounded, connected by the places that touch the ground. Tuning into that earth energy. And then come back to being steady and just have a move about. Just have a move about however you like, whatever feels good, explore. And then come down from your cat, just come down just to rest for a moment, to give your arms a break really. And you can bring your forehead down and just spend maybe 2 breaths down here, just reconnecting. And then refresh core, lift yourself back up. And then we're going to work with the weaving cat. So all you need to do is bend your right elbow and with your left arm, feed it through that space and lower your shoulder down to the ground and the side of your head. When you get down there, just take a couple of breaths. Feeling the breath as it moves through the side of the body. Refresh core, press down into your hand and lift back up. And we'll work with that on the other side. So softening your left elbow, feed your right arm through. Bringing the shoulder and the side of the head down. And then pressing down into your palm, lifting back up. To do that again on the other side. So left arm bends, right arm comes through. And then just taking a few breaths down there. Being mindful of anything that might feel uncomfortable. And then lift yourself back up. And then final time on the left. And then bring yourself back to your kneeling position and come down, back down into pose of a child. And this time bring your hands back by your ankles, palms facing up, forehead down. And when you're ready, coming back to your seated position just for a second. You're going back down again in a second. It's got to let you come back for a moment. So we're going to work with the shoulder spiraling movements that we worked with last week. And I don't know if you want to move your camera so I can see you. So you're going to come down onto one side and you'll have your knees close to your body as possible. Your arms extended out shoulder height. And we just start to move. The arm that's on top starts to go round in a few circles. And this movement is amazing for releasing tension from the shoulders, from the pecs. So just get yourself down onto one side. So pop a little cushion under your head, just so you keep your head in line with your spine. The arm goes up overhead and just working really nice and slowly with your breath, allowing it to stretch out the pecs and muscles in the chest and through the top of the arms, underneath the armpits. And we're just allowing this movement to dissolve any mountains you've been been carrying. Any weights on your shoulders, just letting everything be released. And if possible, try to keep the fingers in connection with the ground and your hip, but at some points they may lift. And we're just going to go around one more time and pause with the palms together. So the palms are back together. So that the arm that's on top, what we're going to do is just slide that arm that's on top, slide it across the body, allow it to come all the way across, and then extend both of the arms out at shoulder height. If possible, let your shoulders be on the ground. And then once you're in that shape, take a couple of breaths. Chest fills, spaciousness. And then bring the arm back, so it just slides across the body. And then stage 2. If you want to do this, what we've just done, you can. If you want to do the second stage, it's an option. So this is what we normally do. So refresh core, breathe in, and you can let your arm lift up so it comes up vertical. Soft bend in the elbow, and then it comes down behind you and you turn your head. It's the same as what we just did, but with a bit more impact. Take a couple of breaths, enjoy that space. And then bringing the arm back up. Refresh core, lift it up or slide it, it's up to you. And then third time, whichever version you want to do, you can either lift or you can slide. Once you get to that shape where both arms are stretched out, pause and just breathe. And then lifting the arm back up when you're ready. And then moving yourself onto the other side. So we repeat that same process, but on the other side. The side that might be. So we just start with the spiraling first of all. And just synchronizing your breath with the movement. So your in breath as the arm comes up overhead. And if possible, you breathe out as the arm travels the lower part. Just easing the arm around. No. Just allowing that arm to move around. It's quite interesting the effect that yoga has on animals. Quite often when you do your yoga, the animals just want to be close. I can see Joey's having a doggy moment at the moment, snuggling up to her. And I think that's due to the vibration and the change in how you are. I think it becomes irresistible to the animals, and they just want to share in that energy. We'll just go around on one more spiral. Let your palms come together. And then we'll begin the storybook movement. So the first time we do it, we're just going to slide the arm over and let the arm come behind. Let your head turn. Take a big breath. Feel that space with the breath. And then slide the arm back over to reconnect with the hand. And then refreshing your core breathing it, let the arm lift up. It comes up vertical, and then your shoulders come down, your head turns, arms behind you, and you look towards your palm. Just taking a few deep breaths. And lift that arm back up. Your hands reconnect. And then working with that one more time. Lift and relax. And then both arms come back together. Then just take a moment, turn yourself over onto your tummy for a few breaths in crescent crocodile pose. So you want to have your heels in, your toes pointing outwards, one arm on top of the other, and just pop your forehead down onto your arms. Just taking some deep breaths, breathing deeply, steadily, evenly. And then coming out of your crocodile pose, bringing your heels in closer together. Slide your hands in underneath your shoulders and just lifting once more to pose of a child. And then from extended child, bringing your hands back by your ankles, palms facing upwards. And you come back up to your seated position. Just make yourself comfy for a moment or two. It can sometimes take a few moments to come back from those shoulder spirals. I think in my, call it a yoga journey, I used to go to yoga every Wednesday without fail in Hunter's Bar in Sheffield with my teacher Wendy. And Wendy, she's been a yoga teacher for 30 years. She's still teaching now, but she's a bit far from me to get to. And we would do this shoulder spiral movement. And when I first started doing it, I couldn't even get my arm back. It wouldn't shift. I was so glued up from office work. And over a period of time, it was this spiraling movement that melted my tension out of my shoulders for me. I think it's such a potent, it's so simple, but it's so potent. And I swear she was doing it for at least an hour. It felt like an hour. But I'm sure it wasn't, but the profound difference it made. And I think sometimes the teacher, especially Wendy, she would be guided and she'd somehow know exactly what it is that we would need in the class. Just thought I'd share that with you. It's one of my absolute favourites. So I'm getting up to demonstrate now, and I'm going to demonstrate all the poses we're going to do, and then we're going to flow through them together, and then hopefully we'll have plenty of time at the end to lay down and stretch. So I'm going to demonstrate Utthita Trikonasana, which is the lateral triangle, which is what we worked with last week. And I'll do the two stages, one with the knee bent and one with the leg straight. And then I'll demonstrate the warrior, Virabhadrasana, and also the Bhima pose. I've forgotten the Sanskrit for Bhima, never mind. So just enjoy my demonstration. So I'm going to invite you to come up to your feet, and we'll start our little journey into these triangle poses. And the three poses we're working with today really work with that earth energy. They ground you to the earth, they connect you to your physical body. And when we work with anything that stretches the sides of the body, it can really help to uplift us. It says in my notes here, it says it can help to alleviate depressive states. And I mean, I've been having a bit of a tough time recently. It's like the world, I'm doing all this great stuff in the world, but sometimes you don't feel great personally. And I can definitely say through doing these poses and making a real effort to shift stuff, I am feeling better. So they're worth doing. So come over towards the left side of your mat, lengthen your spine, and come into your Tadasana, your mountain pose, that place of steadiness and strength. Let your palms come together in front of your heart. Sternum lift. And then release your hands, let your hands come down by your sides. And step out to the right side. step as far as what's comfortable for you. Pop your core muscles on. First of all, just tune into your strong legs, squeeze the muscles in the legs. And then we're going to release them off because we like relaxed muscles in through soft joints. And then you're going to turn the toes of your right foot 45 degrees. So just lift the toes and bring them towards the center. And then lift your heel up and bring your heel into line. Slightly different to last week. And then come down to your left foot and lift the heel of your left foot and just take it a little bit back. And then glance down to your feet. And if you had an invisible line, your line could run from the heel of your right foot all the way down, and it would connect around somewhere around the medial arch of your left foot. And then just check your knee can bend a little bit. And then bring your hips so your hips are square forwards. And sometimes it can feel a little bit odd in your left hip. And if it feels really uncomfortable, you can actually twist a little bit. And then pop your core muscles on, lengthen your spine. And then with your next in-breath, let your arms lift up in front and extend both arms out at shoulder height with your palms facing forwards. So you really feel that openness through the chest. And breathe in, lengthen the spine and just bend your right knee a tiny bit. And then start to come over into that sideways stretch. And you'll get so far and then let your breath come into it. So as you breathe in, you create space, you lift. And as you breathe out, you ease into that sideways stretch. Check your shoulders are relaxed. The chest is square to the front. And if you want to, you can turn your head so you look up towards your hand. And pressing down through the legs, the feet, breathing into the side of the body. And then bend that leading knee, engage your core muscles, lift up. Let your arms come down. Bend your toes forward. And then we're going to work with that on the other side. So you might just need to straighten your feet back up. And then we're going to turn the toes of the left foot 45 degrees. And then lift the heel into line. Take your right heel back. And then feel the weight of the body sink down through the hips, through the feet, through the legs. Pop your core muscles on, lengthen your spine. Check your hips are forward. Lift up your arms as you breathe in, create that space, that circle in front. Breathe out into that space. Bend your left knee a little bit. Lengthening your spine as you breathe in, and then beginning to come over into your sideways stretch. Now you'll get so far, and then you might want to use the breath just to find that extra bit of space. You can slide the hand down towards the ankle if that's where you are today. Let your head look up towards your hand. Check that you feel grounded through the legs, energy rising. And then bend that leading knee, engage core, lift the body up. Bring both feet forward for a moment. And just pause in that expanded shape. Energy rising up through the body from Muladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipur to Anahata at the heart. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, come down to the ground. Allowing that energy to move up towards the heart to be released. Allow the crown of the head to hover above the ground. And then lift yourself back up, stacking each vertebra and all the way back up. And then if you wish to, if you want to do the same one, so if you want to bend your knee again, you can. If you want to experiment and try it with a straight leg, you can. And if you want to swap and have a go at both, that's okay too. So we're going to lengthen the spine again, feel that space. And we're tuning into those earth energies at the base of the body, Muladhara. Grounded, connected, steady strength. Lovely. Turning the toes of your right foot 45 degrees. You heel up, bring your heel into line. Stick your left heel back. Got your tripod shape, core muscles engage, spine lengthens. Lovely. Breathe in and let your arms lift up, expand. And then begin to come over into that right side. Using your breath as you come down, keeping the knees slightly straighter, stacking your shoulders, front of the body open, and reaching up through that left hand. Looking up if that feels good for you. And bending that leading knee as you lift up. Core muscles engage. Bring your foot forward. Your arms come down. Take your time. Working with that now on the left side. So turning the toes of the left foot 45 degrees. Heel comes into line. Right heel moves back. Hips are square. Check that your tripod shape supporting you. You can breathe in, let the arms lift up now, moving into that heart center. Breathe out, expand. And then start to come over. It's as though the spine moves like a bendy rubber hose. But keeping the body in one place. Arm lifts, and you can slide your hand down towards the ankle, looking up towards that hand. Just tune it, so just stay down there. Tuning into that stretch. And as we move the sides of the body, we release feelings, thoughts, emotions, things that we no longer need. And then bend that leading knee, engage core, lift up for a moment, have both palms facing forward and just pause in that shape. Take a big deep breath in, feel the breath rushing in, hear the sound of the breath. And fold forward, come down to the earth. And you can even place your hands onto the earth if you wished. And bend your knees. Just allowing your body to relax. Working with these triangle poses, it's said they can help us perceive a wider picture. It can enhance your creativity and your powers of expression. We become more aware of nature, and we appreciate the beauty in all things. Just tapping into that creativity. And just start now walking your feet back together. Bend your knees and stack each vertebra as you come up. And we're going to take the hands all the way up through the midline. Hands all the way up. And the palms come together and the hands come down to your heart. Close your eyes for a moment. Rest in the energy of Utthita Trikonasana. Release your hands, let your hands come down. So I'm hoping that you enjoyed that triangle pose. It's quite strong. So now we're going to work with another one of my absolute favourites. And you can't go wrong with warrior poses. They fill you up. They really do enhance that strength, creativity, and they force us to be strong warriors. I'm just going to let you all have a little drink and come over towards the left-hand side of your mat. Come back to Tadasana Mountain Pose. Lengthen your spine. Tune into those strong legs, core muscles engage. Let your palms come together. Release your palms, open out and step out to the side. You could step a bit wider this time. And then this time we're going to turn the toes of the right foot 90 degrees and lift the left heel back. Take that left heel back. Check your hips are square again. Core muscles are on. And as you breathe in now, you're going to open the arms up, but this time the palms stay down. And it's as though your arms are supported on two invisible poles. Breathe in as you lengthen your spine, and then breathe out as you bend that leading knee and let your hips lower down to the ground. But you want to check your knee is over your ankle, so we're not overshooting too much. If you are, you can make your stance a bit wider. And then lengthen your spine once more, and then turn your head. So your head turns and you're looking in the direction of that middle finger, and you're just sinking down through the hips. Core muscles are on. Let your breathe in become very steady and even. That's great. Strong legs connecting you to the earth. And then what we're going to do is breathe in, straighten that front leg, let your head look forward and squeeze the shoulder blades together. Backs of the hands come in towards your shoulders. And then breathe out and expand. Feel as though you're sinking into that shape. And each time you move, you can sink a bit further. We're going to do it again. Breathe in, draw in. And breathe out, release. Sink into your warrior. Strong earth warriors. Overcoming obstacles. Building resilience. And then one more, lift up. Final one, sinking into it. And then bend your right elbow, sweep your left arm across and arrive into your diagonal stretch. And you're going to reach through the fingers on the left hand, pressing down into the outside rim of the left foot. And your head can look up again if you wish, or you can keep your head in line with your spine. Breathing through. And then bring that arm down in front, engage core, lift up. We go back into, I call it the axes of the world, but I'm not sure if there's a name for it. And then just fall down to the earth, we'll have a little break. Relax down there, move in your own unique way. And then walk your feet back to hip distance. Bend your knees and unravel your spine. We're going to take the hands right through the midline. Coming all the way up. Raise that energy up. Lovely, let your palms come together. You might just want to stand for a second. Release your hands, let your hands come down by your side. Take a tiny step to the right. This time we're going to step to the left. So step out to the left. Place your foot down on the earth. Turn the toes of your left foot 90 degrees. And then lift the right heel. Take that right heel back. Check your hips are square to the front and your knee, your leg can contract. And then come back to the middle. Hips and pelvis in neutral. Breathe out. As you breathe in, let those arms lift up. Breathe out, let them settle. Breathe in as you lengthen your spine. And breathe out as you let your hips sink down and you bend that leading knee. Turn the head, Looking down the middle finger of your left hand. Be sinking into it, feeling the strength in the body, freedom in the upper part of the body. Now breathe in, straighten the leg, bring the backs of the hands in towards your shoulders, look forwards, and then sink. So you're sinking it into your most potent warrior. Coming back into it once more. Each time you come in, you breathe in and breathe out. And then final warrior, back to the middle. And you release. As you release, you settle, head turns. Weight down through the hips, outside rim of the right foot. Bend your left elbow, sweep your right arm across into your Bhima. And you're reaching through, fingers on the right. So the arm is up by your ear. So you straighten the up, that's it. And you're stretching through from the outside rim of the right foot into the tips of the fingers on the right. Chest open. Fabulous. Let that arm sweep across in front of the body. Lift up into the axes of the world. Feet facing forward, palms forward. Pause for a moment. Take your breath in. And as you breathe out, fold down to the earth. And just soften down here and move in your own unique way. Just appreciating your body, how it moves, supports you. Amazing vessel. When you feel ready, start to walk the feet back to hip distance. If you need a moment or two longer, please take it. Then we're going to come up, standing, but really take your time, feel into each vertebra because you might get a bit dizzy. And the arms are going to come all the way up. And we'll just end by bringing the palms together. Let them come down in front of your heart. Close your eyes. Release your hands, let your hands rest by your sides. And then we've reached that point in the plants where you get to lay down. We'll do a couple of stretches first, but so have your blankets very, very close by. We're going to come down onto the backs, but the first thing to do is just bring your knees into your chest and have a little rock. Yeah, get your blankets and cushions and socks and all those things that keep you warm and cozy. Come onto your backs and just rock from side to side for a moment or two. Rocking and feeling the sacrum soothed. When we work with the triangle poses particularly, it moves the sacrum, it shifts stuff in that area. It helps to mobilize your spine and it really tones the abdominal muscles as well. So just hold on to your knees now and circle your knees around a few times. And then holding onto your right knee, slide your left leg away. Breathe in, and on the out breath, press the knee down as you stretch the other leg away and press the back of the thigh down into the mat. And then relax. Swap over, so you've got hold of the other knee. Breathe in. As you breathe out, press that knee down as you press the back of the opposite thigh down towards the mat. Release that stretch. Bring both knees back into your chest one more time. And just rock once more from side to side. Allow that rocking to become still. Place your heels down onto the mat and just slide your legs away. Let your toes roll out to the side. Your palms be close to your body with the palms facing up. And if you want a blanket or cushion or socks or anything, pop them on now. And just becoming aware of the whole of your body. You can press down into the ground and feel the connection between the body and the ground, the earth. And just breathe in, pressing down. And as you breathe out, just softening. Let the awareness now come down to your feet. And as you breathe in, draw the toes in towards you. Feel the stretch through the backs of the legs. And breathe out, push the toes away. Breathe in, press the backs of the knees down towards the mat. The tightness in your legs. And breathe out, relaxing the legs. Coming up now to the level of the glutes, the quads. Just tightening those muscles one more time. Tightening the glutes, the quads. Breathing into those muscles. And then breathe out, just softening. And tightening your core muscles one more time. Drawing tummy button down towards your spine and breathing in. Breathe out. Press the sacrum into the mat. That's the sacrum. And up into the chest, the lungs, and just allow yourself to take a deep breath in here. Really feel the space. Expansion. And as you breathe out, notice how soft the body becomes, softness in the belly. Roll your thumbs into your palms and wrap your fingers around your thumbs. And then roll the arms towards your body. Feel the stretch across the back. Breathe in. Breathe out and roll the arms away. Let your palms face up. Turn your head one way and then the other. In the neck. and really slow that movement down. And then let your head come back to the middle, scrunch up your eyes, furrow the brow, wriggle the nose, wiggle the jaw. Just spend a few moments with your face. Easing out any tension from the face. And then let your face stop moving. And as your face becomes still, just start to take some breaths. Noticing how cool the breath is. Feel the breath's pressure as it fills the lungs and your chest expands, belly expands, breathing. And as you breathe out, send that breath down into your legs, down into your feet. Relaxing the feet, breathing into the feet now, soothing the feet. Toes, the heel, arch of the foot, the bones, the ankle, breathing it in and breathing out. Breathing it in now to your calf muscle, your shin, the bones within the thigh. Just breathing that feeling of relaxation in, breathing out. That relaxation now fills the hips, the pelvis, feeling steady. Breathe out. Steadiness now fills the belly, the front of the body, and as you breathe in, just allow that front of the body to become soft. Breathe out. So your back into your shoulders, your neck. Bringing that feeling of softness into your body. And breathe out. And then allow that softness to nourish the face. Just allow it to nourish the forehead, your eyes, your cheeks, mouth. Softness fills the whole of your body. And as you breathe out, you simply let go. Let go of any thoughts, any feelings, any ideas, anything that's holding us back. Allow yourself to rest here for a few moments. We're going to start that process of reawakening now, using the energy of the sun. A ball of energy and light, and this warmth, vitality, our sun, the friend of all. And just inviting those sun rays in and visualize a sunrise, a promise of the new day, and see that light, radiant and warm. And that light soothes the face and it brings fresh energy and vitality as it pours down into your spine and into the pathways throughout your body. So the whole of your body fills with radiant light. And it flows down into your arms and into your hands, into your fingers. Start to move your fingers. It flows into your face and into your smile. brightens the eyes and into your chest, filling up, being revitalized and energized on all levels. That light flows down into your hips now and into your legs, into your knees, into your ankles and feet, into your toes. Just start to wriggle your toes. Have a stretch. And turn yourself over onto whichever side is best for you today. And then make your way back up into your seated position. Coming back into your seating position, make sure you feel warm and cozy. And I've just reached across the room for my book. This Stands Between Joy and Pain, the True Yoga, amazing book. And I thought I'll read whatever quote I open it on. And I've got a really nice quote, actually. I like this. And the quote it's by someone called John Holmes. And it says, "There is no exercise better for the heart than reaching down and lifting people up." I thought that's just beautiful, isn't it? There is no exercise better for the heart than reaching down and lifting people up. So I'll leave those words with you for today. Oh, hang on a minute. Bring your hands together, rub your palms together. And then place your nice warm hands over your eyes. Open your eyes up into your palms and let your eyes adjust. Give your forehead a tap. Tap yourself back into your physical body. Give yourself a dust off. And then give yourself a lovely hug. Maybe look the other side as well. And then take your arms up and let your palms connect. Put your head. Put your hands down in front of your heart. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. There is no exercise better for the heart than reaching down and lifting people up. I'll just leave that with you for today. So I hope you enjoyed this morning's slightly more dynamic practice. Lots of warriors in there and should have boundless energy for the day and the weekend.